Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Rox, and I'm coming to you today with the review for Basketball Wives season. What is it? Is it season 6, episode 2? Y'all, I'm sorry. What is it? Is it season 6? I don't even know what the fuck to call the show. Is it Basketball Wives Miami, Los Angeles, New York? Like, where they gonna be? I'm gonna have it on the screen so you guys will know exactly which episode it is. But this is the review for that one. So last week, I apologize, you guys. I had started to do the video, and then in the middle of it, my laptop died, and my charger would not work. So I could not charge my laptop all last week, and I didn't even really try, you guys. I needed to take a break last week, and so there was really nothing last week. And there was nothing really to talk about last week other than the Evelyn and Chad show. You know, it's asked and answered, I think. So we don't even really need to get all into that. So let's just talk about the episode number 2. So let's get to it, shall we? Now, you guys know how they always introduce new people on the show. It always has to be a friend of an already established, person, character, personality, whatever you want to call it, on the show. So, in this case, I guess they've hoisted Evelyn on Tasha, or vice versa. You guys remember me talking about Tasha and Stephon Marbury's marital issues in a very old Top of the Blogs. If you guys remember back, I was telling you guys about how Stephon Marbury was messing with the chef for his family, having an affair with them, and when he was ready for the affair to be over, in what had to be some sort of show of desperation, he agreed to pay this girl $900,000 for her silence, for her not to come out, not to say anything about the affair, because at the time the New York Knicks, I think that's who he was playing for, y'all excuse me if it's wrong, but whoever he was playing for, they were already going through some scandal with Isaiah Thomas, the coach, sexually harassing some chick in the front office. Okay, so he paid this girl. Not only did he pay her, but he signed a damn contract, okay, and said that he would pay it in 3 payments. So he paid 2 payments. The girl got over $600,000, and then I guess at the end of that, he was just like, enough of this shit. I ain't paying nothing else. Old girl went to the court, and yeah, the judge saw it her way. Even though the affair was wrong, your stupid ass signed a binding contract saying that you would pay this woman for her silence. You broke the contract, didn't pay her, so that's why she came out. If you would have paid the shit like you were supposed to, then none of this would have even happened and nobody would have knew about it. See, and I done told y'all a million times, but I guess this gonna have to be 1,000,001. I'm gonna need you men to get y'all side hoes in check, okay? Now listen, if you gonna tell a woman you gonna give her the money, then give her the money, okay? You fool around with these women who obviously don't have as much to lose as you do. And I still don't understand that way of thinking either, but these men will hook up with these women and Tiger Woods them to death. Take them to fucking Denny's and buy them a breakfast and get them a fucking used Honda Accord or some shit. And you know what? Women ain't standing for that shit no more. They want more. Okay, so if you say you're gonna give her $900,000 or whatever it is, you stupid enough to sign a contract and give her damn money. And not only that, you guys, but Stephon Marbury always has all these women coming at Tasha Marbury on Twitter, on social networks, saying about all these things that they've done with her husband. I didn't even know they were still together. I was just like, damn, she's still trying to work it out with his ass with all this shit she got to be putting up with. But, 16 years, I guess that shit is that is kind of hard to just give up on. So, whatever. But, I done got off. Now, what was I talking about? Evelyn. No, Tasha. No, both of them. Tasha and Evelyn are supposedly friends, okay? They going out, they hanging out, shopping, and working out together. And yet and still, Evelyn puts the chef story in her book. Was I the only one that was side-eyeing that? Because, I haven't read Evelyn's book, but I've heard that it was good or whatever. But Evelyn tells her that she didn't want to, it wasn't out of spite, it's just that she wanted to make her story juicy. Now listen, you guys, I have plenty of girlfriends, and honey, they got some fucking good-ass stories, okay? Plenty of stories that I would love to get up on here on YouTube and tell you guys about, because it is worth a good-ass chuckle, okay? But these are my friends. I'm not going to put them out there like that. And to me, it's just like, if you have a friend that you supposedly calling your friend, obviously they ain't the friends that we all think of when we think of as friends, but You got a friend and you put the shit in your book because you want it to be juicy? You couldn't come up with no other shit? Change names or change storylines around or something? I mean, it had to be a chef and a basketball player? Yeah. I'm sorry. I wasn't really getting that. And I was mad at Tasha for kind of giving her the pass on that, because even if my intentions was to eventually forgive Evelyn for doing that shit, honey, I'd have been like, yeah, bitch, you know what, let's talk about that, because that was some old shady ass shit that you did, and I would have had to let her know that I had her fucking number. You can't just sit here and tell me that you thought it was okay to put a story in there, but then we supposed to be friends and we on this show. Like, I was getting offended. I was almost feeling like they was trying to moan at me and make me believe a story that didn't make no damn sense. So Tasha is friends with Evelyn. You can't tell me that Tasha didn't know about that storyline in that book already. But I get it. She's trying to be on this show. She's trying to get in there good. And, you know, you got to do what you got to do. I guess you got to sell out at some point. I feel like Tasha is selling out at this point. But that's neither here nor there, right? As far as the storyline for Evelyn and her, you know, her trying to get over her brother's death, her brother-in-law's death, I'm not really going to talk about that too much, because I do feel bad for her. Like, you can tell that that is something that is affecting her and her family, and, you know, that kind of stuff is real touchy to me, and I don't really like to get into things like that. I think we forget a lot of times that these people are human beings on these reality shows, with all of the shit that they do exploit and put out, and always thinking about their public relations and, you know, all of that. We have to remember that they are human and they do have real problems and real troubles in their life. So, you know, I don't want to get into that, because I really do feel like she's going through it, and her family, as they should. So a lot of things are exploited for television, but not every single thing that they put on TV. Okay, unless your last name is the Kardashians. Oh, shade. Alright, you guys, now Tammy, you guys, I try to stay annoyed with Tammy, but I cannot. I really do like Tammy, only because I think that Tammy kind of reminds me, you know, of some of my homegirls. Just real down to earth, but kind of fucked up in the head at the same time. She's funny to me, okay, and she's a mother and she has a regular life and she's relatable. I do like Tammy in that instance. Because, you know, when you get on these reality shows and you see the Evelyns and the Jennifers, even though I know Jennifer's not on the show anymore, but when you see the very glamorous, always made up, you know, always put together types, it's sometimes good to just see the one that's just a little bit crusty-eyed and, you know, ashy-lipped. And that would be Tammy. Now, with all that being said, Tammy is a bit of a shit starter. We all know that, and she, you know, likes to get trouble started. So that's the little part about Tammy that you just kind of be like, okay, here we go. This shit that they trying to sell us about Susie, you know, the girls all being there for Susie because Susie's such a good person and they want to be supportive of her, is just a whole bunch of bullshit. I'm not buying it. And side note, damn y'all fucked that Susie up, didn't you? Made the bitch go and break her jaw and her nose and her mouth and gums and face and shit just to get that goddamn list fixed. I was like, wow, you guys, we could be so mean to people. I know, because you guys know that Susie was one of my favorite people to mock. I guess we did really give her a hard time, you know, when she would be talking like this and her voice, she would have her teeth out like this. You know, she had like an underbite that was really severe, so would fuck her words all up. And yeah, I guess I was feeling kind of bad. I was like, damn, I ain't mean for you to get your shit all broke up. Fuck. They ain't had no braces you could have just got. I was like, okay, I guess. She looks really good. She really looks good, and she really sounds good. That lisp is all the way gone. I was just like, all right, Susie. So what we gonna talk about now? But anyways, y'all, let me get back to what I was saying. They can keep on telling us that they there for Susie, but you guys, that shit is not true. Okay, we all know why Susie's there. Susie is the vessel for the gossip of the show. Okay, Susie ain't nothing more than the person that carries the bullshit from location A on over to location B. Okay, that's all Susie is there for. They use her, and I don't know if Susie really you know, has just adopted this role on the show, or if she's just too stupid to realize that they use her. I don't really know what to call it. Susie's going through some things, so we're gonna see what's going on with Susie. Susie is at that point in her life where she realized that she ain't really got too much shit. She been partying, she been living it up, she been with these men, rich men, and living the life while she's with them. They give her money, they buy her things, this, that, and the other, but when the shit is over, You leave up out of here with the shit you came with, which was 2 suitcases full of clothes. You ain't got nothing to show for it, and you done gave all your time to this man who has moved on to the next better and improved model. Susie's at that point where she's realizing that it's time for her to have something for herself. And women, I know, I ain't really trying to get all up into it like this with y'all. I ain't trying to go deep, but I always will tell you that it is very important to have your own. Okay, I know that we be with our man and we married and we having it good and all of that, but it's nothing like getting to be about 40 years old and realize you ain't got shit to show for it but a couple of champagne flutes. I feel sorry for Susie, because Susie, out of everybody on the show, she ain't got shit going on. She just on the show. Like, she don't have nothing. Everybody else is trying to get their hustle going, and what do Susie have? Not a motherfucking thing. I mean, bitch, you can suck a dick. Why don't you get a fucking sex toy line? I mean, something. Now, back to Tammy. Like I was saying, people are trying to get their hustle together, okay? Tammy's business venture is, I thought she said she was going to do a makeup line. Did she say makeup line? But she was talking about a nail polish line. Whichever one it was, she's trying to get, this nail polish line going. And I don't know, y'all. I just don't think that nail polish is lucrative. I know that we all into nails and stuff like that. I mean, it's always going to be a polish that's sold, but I know when I go to buy me a nail polish, when I used to get my nails polished and not gel polished, all I did was I looked for the color that I wanted, and then I looked for the price. I wasn't really committed to any type of brand, and I don't know if I might be wrong. I know there are a lot of people who are really nail polish aficionados, like as Simply Done, my homegirl out in Texas. So, I know that, but I'm just like, a nail polish line, it just seems like, okay, well, maybe. It's cool that she's trying to use this platform to get something else started. That's all I'm trying to say, okay? Tammy says that she wants to cater to women like her. Okay, so what she wants is some polish that when she go hit a bitch dead in the jaw at 80 miles per hour, her fucking teeth won't chip the goddamn paint. On top of that, she's trying to get this hairline started, which I also thought was a good idea at the time, but it also seems like the hair market has gotten so oversaturated, especially celebrity hair. Just so many people selling hairlines and so many people selling hair, and it's just, I don't know, because we get all caught up and we look at a celebrity on TV and we see how beautiful their hair is, and then we think that we buy that same hair that they sell, that's how our hair is gonna look. And y'all, that shit could still come up in here just as tough as a bitch. Okay, fucking hair off the ass of a horse. Okay, so I don't know. I think Tammy's hair always looks very pretty that she has in, so maybe the hairline will be a good idea for her. Now, I also felt like they was trying to trump up this drama between Tammy and Tasha, and them being in competition with each other with these hairlines. To my understanding, Tasha was starting like a weave bar, which out here in Atlanta is like the $50 weave shop. Okay, you go, they're really busy, really popular. It's $50 for a basic weave, and then they charge you per service. Like, you get a net, you get, however many tracks, you get, it's perfect for somebody who is trying to cut costs and just wants like a basic weave. Okay, I ain't never been there, but I know some people that have gone and they've been happy with the service. So that's what Tasha's trying to do in LA. And I feel like maybe that's a good market out there, because LA, the weaves obviously are still very high out there. I was like, fuck, I wish I would pay $300 goddamn dollars for a weave, and then I got to buy the hair too. Bitch, you crazy? But I didn't see any problem, any conflict, because Tammy sells hair, Tasha is doing hair. So why? It seems like that would have just easily seamed together. That was a seamless little thing that them two could actually probably go into business together. So I was just like, okay, I'm not understanding why you guys is trying to make this seem like it's going to be a problem. And even if they were doing the same thing, like, what, I'm supposed to stop my shit because you doing the same thing? If that was the case, I wouldn't be doing YouTube. You know how many motherfuckers is doing YouTube videos of basketball wives and Love and Hip Hop ATL and all these different shows? It's a whole bunch of us, okay? Some of them do better than me and make way less money, and some of them do way worse than me and make thousands of dollars. You guys, it's all a part of the game, okay? You got to get in and you got to play. So you can't just think just because you decided to do some shit that they got to drop out and they ain't gonna do it too, okay? I hope that ain't really how people think. We don't really think like that, do we? I think we have better sense than that, right? Life don't work that way, you guys. So the main point of the show, or the focal point of this show, was Tasha's dinner. Tasha has a beautiful home in New York, and because everybody was up in New York for whatever reasons, she decided to have like a meet and greet, a little get together for all the girls to meet each other and kind of feel each other out, and, you know, kind of build this sisterhood that these reality shows are supposed to build. The thing that I don't like that much about Tammy is the fact that because Tasha has money, she's automatically leery of her. That, to me, shows like this sort of like a, what is the word, y'all? It's not like a jealous, you know, it sort of shows that she's uncomfortable with her place, her financial status in life. And that ain't the word, y'all. What is the word? Like, she just, it shows like some kind of weirdness about how you feel about yourself if you so worried about how much money. Because do you know how many more people got more money than you? It's a whole bunch of them. You gonna hate all of them just because they got more money than you? You guys, listen, God knows I hate a snob. I hate somebody who thinks that they're better than me just because they have more money than me. But I don't automatically hate somebody because they have more money than me. Okay, because there's plenty of good people out there with money. There's plenty of devils out there with money too, but you just can't automatically assume that. So Tammy, the leeriness, it's like an insecurity. It's an insecurity about herself and her just, you know, that's the part that kind of bothers me about Tammy, because, you know, her grilling Evelyn about, you know, what kind of person is Tasha like, just because she has money and she's got this big nice house. I mean, you know, she's got that because she's the wife of a basketball player who she's still with. Okay, Tammy's life didn't quite turn out that way, and I guess that would build up some, you know, some insecurities and, you know, some shit like that. But yeah, it ain't worth the time. If you gonna be so worried about, okay, I'm just gonna move on. Fixing to start preaching to y'all up in this bitch. Tammy, she coerces that stupid ass Susie. Okay, now even though with all that shit get broken up that head, that brain is just as retarded as ever. Okay, she coerces Susie into thinking that they need to be, you know, they need to be armed. They need to, you know, like in the words of Sugar Free, you know, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. Okay, and she needs to know about what exactly went on with Tasha and the chef and Stefan. Tammy's whole explanation is, you know, I don't want to get up in there and she be putting on all these airs, and she don't want us to know that her shit don't stink. I want to know, you know, bitch, you like us, fucked up just like us, even with all this money. And yeah, that's cool. You know, people need to remember where they came from just so they can appreciate where they at. But yeah, like, why are you going in there starting shit like this? Do you really think that I feel like being up in my motherfucking house, okay, feeding y'all food, giving you drinks, for you to come up in here and mention some bitch that's been fucking my husband? Really? And I don't understand why Susie think that shit is okay. She just stupid. And that's what I was just saying. It's just terrible that they use that girl, and then that girl can't even never say no. She just gonna say it. I was just like, oh my God, this girl is so retarded. And then for Evelyn to be over there smirking, that's what made me think that, you know, Evelyn was not truthful in her saying that she wasn't being spiteful, you know, that she just wanted a juicy story. Because if you really felt bad about it, you'd have been like, you know what, let's not even start the night off like this. Let's be having a good time. You know, she would have stopped it instead of sitting there and just staring like, I tell you what, I wish that Tasha get up and cuss that bitch out proper next week. We already know that's probably not gonna happen, but you got to start off like that on these shows. With conniving women like this, you got to set up the place from the beginning so they know where you coming from. I hope Tasha's ready for the shitstorm that she about to face in this season. Alright, you guys, that's it. So you guys remember to rate, comment, and subscribe to the channel. I'm itsrox. The channel is for itsrox, and everything else I do will be in the bottom bar below. Alright, so I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day, and I plan on doing the same. Until next time, Roxstars. Bye.